Hello, good morning. Welcome to Lisa Derby City and a happy new year. Today it's Tuesday, it's the 10th of January 2023 and the time is it's 25 to 12. For disclaimer purposes, I have to say that this is purely for entertainment value and you need to be 18 plus, okay, to watch this, okay? And what I'm going to do today is just going to be a quickie because apparently I waffle on too much according to my daughter. So I'm going to split the cards into two piles. I've already knocked it 3 times. So we're going to split it into 3. So 1, 2, 3. So we've got pile 1, pile 2. Okay. And we're going to ask this pile, which is pile 1. We're going to pick 2 cards. What do we need to leave behind for 2022? And what do we need to embrace and set for 2023? So I'm just going to pick 2 cards from pile 1. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say for us. So I'm picking 2 cards. Okay, so giving you a bit more choice. So that's the first card. That's for 2022. And then what do we need to embrace and set for 2023? So let's see. Right. Let's go for this one. So we've got 2 cards. Okay, and that's upside down as well. So turn it around. So this is the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, and then we've got the King of Cups. Now the 5 of Pentacles was upside down. Depending on some tarot readers, they don't bother to do a negative or positive. But I'm going to leave this. Okay, so this was the 5 of Pentacles and it was originally upside down. Usually if I do it like this, Pentacles represents finances, your resources. And looking at this, they don't look very happy, do they? And 5 is also about change. But this is about, usually if I left it like this, this would say, like for last month, if I left it like this, that your finances were kind of limited. And kind of like, so this means that you was kind of like, you may have made some losses financially. And that could be simply about a loss of a job or loss of finances, or simply that you wasn't earning enough. But because it was like this, upside down, it's actually got the opposite meaning. So what this is saying, that last year, you were kind of like, money just manifests from out of nowhere. So you may have experienced a loss, either a reduce in income or change in earnings, or simply a change of a job. So at this particular moment in time, what this is saying, this card, 5 of Pentacles upside down, you're kind of like in a transitionary period, which makes sense. Because last year was like, would have been say December the 10th, and we're now in January the 10th. So a lot of us, on a global perspective, will be experiencing some form of financial constraints. And we are still feeling these constraints, but these constraints are not going to be forever, because this has got the opposite meaning. If I left it like that, this would have said that from last year, you would have experienced some loss, and that could have been with a job. Okay, but because it's like this, yes, you still may have experienced some form of reduced income and you have to tighten your budget, and that's from last year. But that is soon, it's coming to an end, because we're now coming into a new year, okay? Because we're now on the 10th of January. So you will kind of like, your resources will be replenished from the most unlikely, unconventional means. You may discover that you got money in, you might discover that you got an old savings account, or you do a favour for a friend or a family member and you get paid in cash. But basically, you have all that you need, okay? So you might not always have the finances, but you have shelter, you have the basic, you have a home, you have heating, you have hot water, you have food. You might not have the resources financially, but you have the basic simple means that a lot of people are taking for granted. So this is kind of like from last year, kind of like count your blessings, and what was deemed a negative, you can look back and think, actually, you know what, that was a hidden blessing in disguise. So maybe that loss of job or falling out with friends or family members has given you a chance to kind of like review things from a different perspective. So this is saying that you have all that you need. Okay, that was for 2022. Then what we've got here is the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is for what do you need to face and set for 2023. The King of Cups usually represents a person that you know, or maybe traits that you need to develop within yourself, irrespective of your gender. But this King of Cups, as you can see, is a kind individual, and they usually have a very clear complexion, and they're very nurturing as well. And this person is very good at giving emotional support to other people, or maybe you may need that emotional support from this particular individual described in this card here. Because the King of Cups is about emotions as well. So this person can give or receive emotional support. Also, the King of Cups is very caring, very sensitive, and kind of a bit of a homebody. So they're like the creature comforts. So this person likes to be at home. They like to cook and feed, and kind of like it's a bit of a feeder, and they like things all about comfort and solidarity, and they can give you comfort as well, like a good sympathetic listening ear. I apologize, I can't speak today. So they can give you good advice, and they're a trustworthy individual. And this can also indicate a friend from the most unlikely places as well. Okay, so that was from pile 1. So same question with pile 2. What do you need to leave behind for 2022? And then what do you need to face and set for 2023? And this is pile 2. So same principle, pick out 2 cards, okay? And so see what we've got. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. Wheel of Fortune, okay? Let's get another one. So the Wheel of Fortune will be what to leave behind for 2022. And then the second card will be what to face and set for 2023. So let's see, that one. So here we've got Prince of Wands. Let's read this one, Wheel of Fortune. So this is about what to leave behind in the past, okay, for 2022. So the Wheel of Fortune is saying that we are kind of like responsible for the things that happened to us from last year. It's that old saying, you made your bed, now you lie in it. So this is about choices that you made, and you now are reaping the consequences of those choices. And it's also about stepping out of your comfort zone. But this is saying that basically your destiny is in your own hands, that you have some say in how things go. In the past, you might have felt like you didn't have much of a say because of circumstances beyond your control. But actually, you did have a lot of control and influence on how things were to go. So what do you need to face and accept then? So last year you felt that you didn't have the choice. Well, actually you did have the choice. It's kind of like facing up to your responsibilities. That was about last year. So that's what you need to let go, that you need to kind of like acknowledge your own responsibilities and accept that, yes, sometimes you do make errors. It's kind of like growing up and to accept responsibility for your own actions and to stop blaming other people. Now here is the Prince of Wands. So this may donate someone that you know, or may represents qualities that you need to develop within yourself. And here we got the lion and this young person. This usually represents a young person as well, or it could be traits that you have as well. But usually this person is born under the fire sign, and here it's a Leo. All the characteristics of the Leo is that they're very charming, they can be quite loud, a bit of a drama king or queen, and they like to be the centre of attention. So there's a lot of dramas involving this particular person. And they usually have tantrums, and they're not very nice when they have a tantrum. They can be quite self-centered, very egotistical. So it's almost like having a stroppy teenager in the house, like, you know, and they use a lot of emotional blackmail, a lot of gaslighting, you know, where they almost make you doubt yourself. So what this is saying about what to embrace and accept in 2023, that you may work with these people, or even worse, be related to these individuals, and these are younger people, or you have traits similar to this individual where they can be quite childlike and have tantrums if things don't go their way. So what this is saying, that you may have to learn to be a bit more patient towards younger individuals who may be younger than you, and they could actually be a child or a teenager, and emotionally they're still developing and learning about their world as well. And they may come across as being egotistical because they're still emotionally, they're still learning that, you know, the world does not evolve around them. And that's quite a bit of a culture shock for these young individuals as well. And yes, they can be quite fiery in the temperament, and they can be quite dramatic as well, because that's kind of like they're going into survival mode. That's all they know. So this was about what to leave behind in 2022, and that is to stop blaming others for your actions and to learn to accept responsibility. Whereas for 2023, to kind of like be a bit more patient with people that are younger than you, where you may see them to be a bit slower, maybe a bit spoilt, to kind of understand the word from their perspective as well, and to understand that they're still kind of like learning that the word is changing and maybe not always for the best. So just to be a bit more kinder, or maybe to embrace these qualities of yourself. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so that was from pile 2 and pile 3. Thank you. Have a good day, Lisa, Derby City.